Hey guys, this is Daniel, the creator of NeroTask, and in this, I wanted to show y'all a quick guide on NeroTask and what it is. It is a pretty powerful to-do list manager with a minimalist design. To add a task, we can just click the button or hit N, and we can type something like go to the gym every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at, let's say, 8 p.m. You'll see the task name here, and then what it's going to be scheduled weekly, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So we hit Enter. And you'll see it moved to upcoming. So we can actually just click this to immediately jump to our upcoming view and just see everything we have scheduled at a glance. And then if we expand a task, we have our notes section. You can also put checkboxes in there so you can mark things off. So we'll just do additional notes here and we'll check it off. And then down here on the bottom, we can attach files to this. So I'll just click here and we'll just add a random image. And then we can click on that to open it and get a preview, which gives us a download or X button. You can also hit F if you want to go full screen. So this will work for things like PDFs, images, and videos. Then down here at the bottom right, the first icon we have is the date picker. So we can open that and say we want the 26th. We just click that, click apply. Now you can see both of these are scheduled for tomorrow. We could come back in here and do even the 28th and click a future day. So 28th through the 30th. And you'll see up here, it's a multi-day. And you can also set repeat if you want something to repeat. And then we have our list. This houses the tasks. So you can see our list over here. We have tags, context, and then priority. So you can assign a priority. You can see this has high priority, but we could go to medium priority if we wanted. And most of these you don't have to use. If you just want to do a list, you could do that. If you don't want lists at all, you don't have to use lists or tags or context. But for this example, I'm going to add the important tag here. So we'll just click apply. And then you can see here, we got our priority flag, our tag, and our list. And so if I click the home list, it will immediately take us to the list over here. So that badge is clickable. Just like the flag, if we click that, it's going to take us to every task that is medium priority, and you can sort by a certain thing. So we could sort by list, and it will actually break all these down into the list they're in. And you can always click that header to go right back to home. And if you ever see a time or date or even repeat badge, you can click that to open the win picker, and we can go, hey, let's just do this on the 30th, apply. And if you don't like expanding tasks to edit anything, you can right click and you'll get the exact same menu. So right here we have the win picker. You can click on the list. We could go, oh, I want to change this to appointments. You can click tags and check these on and off, whatever you want. And we'll check both because I'm going to show you that here in a second. And then we'll do no context. And let's take off the medium priority. And as soon as we click apply, there it is. It went out of the home list because we just added it to the appointments list. So here it is. And when you have more than one tag or context, you'll see it's going to have a +1 next to it or +2. And you can click that and it will actually show you both or however many you have. And then you can jump to that section by just clicking on either one. So now we're in the urgent tag section, which is why the badge is gone here because we know what we're in. So we still have that important tag. So we could go back and forth just by clicking these. And the other thing is we can highlight this and hit T. That will assign it to today. And then on the today view, you can see here we have fix the deck, get oil changed. This is part of the errands list over here. And this is part of the appointments list. So if we go to the view, we can sort by list, and this will break it down into where each task is. So if we go to the inbox, I'm going to add another task. We'll call this example appointment task. And I'm going to add that to appointments. And we're going to assign it to today. So now it is right there. And you can choose if you'd rather do tag, context, due date, kind of whatever you're wanting, even priority, or just default. And you can just leave it looking like this, where you can just drag tasks around. And now that we have 3 tasks scheduled for today and upcoming, let's go ahead and head over to the calendar. So here we're in the weekly view. We can also go to monthly here. You can hit the arrow keys to go left and right. And you'll see our gym task is repeating. And if we go to the week view, you can also go day by hitting the arrow keys, which is really handy if you're at the end of the week and you want to be able to drag tasks over to a new day. You can also drag tasks from the all day section down to any time slot or day. And then you can also extend that for however long you want. And then if you don't want something scheduled, you can always drag it back up. And here we have our gym repeating task, and you can actually break a series here or mark off future one if you want. So let's say we want to mark this one off. We can actually go ahead and click check. You'll see earlier repeats aren't complete. So it's going to schedule this as a standalone, but you can go ahead and mark that off and it takes it out of the series. And if you want, you could even go further forward wherever you want and split the whole series. So we could do this in future tasks. You'll see it's going to split this, and then this bottom essentially snake becomes its own series. And let's say we want to mark off, we'll pretend it's the 13th, and well, let's pretend it's the 14th. So we're going to the future, and we weren't able to hit the gym on Monday, but we did it on Tuesday, and we did it at 12 p.m. Well, we can drag this one off, choose this task only. It's going to create a standoff task here that you can then just drag around freely, but the series will stay intact. And then let's go ahead and just click delete, and we'll do all future occurrences. So you can see now it has been wiped off the map. We don't have any more. We can also complete tasks early. So this is now a standoff task anyway. If we check this, this is only going to affect completed. So the completed section over here, if you choose scheduled date in completed, it's going to make it look like you finished it at that date, which could be important for certain things, or you might want it to show completed as today. Regardless, on the calendar, it is going to show completed wherever you check it off. It's only affecting this completed date right here. So this would actually show 14 or July 14 if we would have done future. And then heading back to the calendar real quick, in the month view, you can do things like drag an event, and you get all your options here. So we can just say, do this, add some notes. You have your win picker lists. I mean, let's just do appointments. So it'll turn red. You can add your tags, attach files. We'll just click save. There it is. You can drag this around as well to wherever you want. And then you can also right click to bring up that really quick menu. And I actually prefer that on the calendar. So if I need to make any changes to this, I don't really want to click it and open it. I'd rather just right click and go, this needs to be we'll do July 15th. So I click apply, and then I can go, we're going to put this in the waiting list. We'll add the important tag and maybe make it high priority. So then you just click apply, and there it is. And from the calendar, you can also link to the important tag if you click on that, or let's go back and we can click our waiting list. So if we click that, it's just going to take us straight to the waiting list where it will show all of the tasks that we have assigned to that list. All right, this is going to be more of a boring section. First, I'm going to hide context. I don't really like having it. I don't use it much. So we can go into settings, look and feel, and just turn context off. I'm going to turn priorities off as well. And then I scheduled a bunch of different tasks for today. So you can see right here, they're in different lists as well. And I grouped a few in the same list. If we sort by list, you can see waiting is at the top and appointments is below it. So if we drag and rearrange this, you'll see it will snap and show the view that we have on the sidebar. So let's say home was the most important. Well, now it will follow this list: home, appointments, waiting, errands. And then also with tags, you can see here we've got +1. And if we click it, we can see the two tags. If you rearrange the tag, it will show you the top tag first. But if we rearrange these, you can see it just changes it up. It does the same thing for context. And then another thing is if we're in the calendar view, you can see here in week view, we have +3 more. If appointments was at the bottom, we actually can't see a single appointment here because it's at the bottom of our list. Now, I've seen a lot of calendars where they don't sort by the order that you put it in. And I wanted to make sure if I drag appointments to the top, that is what I'm going to see first on the calendar. So these other ones that might not be as important are the ones that are hidden. And for this section, it's just a few tips and tricks. So when you create a new task, we could say go to the grocery store, and we can go ahead and just start typing the symbols we need to add context. We could add the important tag. We can type the greater than symbol, start typing a project. So we could do errands, and you can even type in at 5 p.m. tomorrow, or you could do at 5 p.m. every 2 days or every day, or whatever you want. And you can also remove them before you save the task. So if we type the @ symbol, we can just take home off. If we didn't want the important, you can just search it. You'll see the check and it will remove it. For this, I'm just going to add it back. But then when you hit enter, you can have all the information you need right there ready to go. So we'll go ahead and hit enter. It's going to move to upcoming. And then you can click here, or we just use the / to bring up our quick menu, and we can just type upcoming. Or if we wanted and we were on the inbox again, we could just type grocery store. We can see where it's at, hit enter, take us right to it. We can expand it with the L key, or even without it being expanded, if you just hit tab, you'll immediately go into notes. So we can just type this note for fun. You hit escape, it's going to stay expanded. You hit escape again, and it's going to collapse it. And also, if you just want one key that basically does everything when you have a task highlighted, you can hit M for move. So if you bring this up, you can type pretty much anything. We can send this get oil change back to the inbox there, and then we'll hit the / and we'll just type oil, and you'll see here we are back in the inbox. If you have multiple tasks, we could say buy new car, and we could do get new TV, which none of this is actually happening. We can highlight these, we can hit M, and we could put these in appointments if we think they're appointments, or errands. So we just hit errands, and there it is. It moved them all to errands. We can hit / search errands, and then they're all in here. You can also highlight a bunch of these and hit S, which is our schedule menu where you can actually type a phrase. So we could say in 3 days, and it's going to move all of these to the same date. You can also highlight all these and hit C, which will clear all of them, or hit T to schedule them all for today. And you can also just drag them to a list if you wanted to add them to that list really quickly, or even a tag. So if you wanted all these to be important, you can just drag it over to the tag. If you hit Command Z or Control Z, it will undo all those at the same time. We could even get them all back into errands by hitting Control Z. I almost forgot to mention with the semicolon and apostrophe, you can navigate the sidebar up and down real quickly, so you don't actually need to use the mouse. When you're using IK to navigate a list, so we can quickly go into any of these without touching a keyboard and just highlight everything. We can hold Option and move things around to the top or bottom of the list. There's a lot of keyboard shortcuts you might want to check out. And then in errands, I added some attachments here. You can actually hit the O key and bring this up and then hit F. And you can press up, down on the arrows or IK. And you can actually browse through. So this is a video I have, and you can just hit space and you will start playing it. And then you can just hit F to go from small to big, or just hit Shift O and it will exit out and it will be back in the app. So it's just a really quick way to view PDFs, files, things you need in full screen or small. It's almost like a file browser. But anyway, that's about it for the app. I'm sure I've missed some things. And if you have any questions, leave a comment down below, and I'll see you in the next one.